This gaming PC just came in the shop because despite the system spending a whole month at another repair shop, it still won't turn on. So what exactly is going on here? Well, about 9 times out of 10 when everything's hooked up properly and your power switch still doesn't work, it's probably related to your power supply. Which, this being a pre-built, doesn't really surprise me. The good thing is, testing a power supply is super easy with our Dr. Power 3 power supply tester, which if we just hook up to our power supply's 24 pin and turn on, we'll see instant failure. But we also can verify this a step further by hooking up a spare power supply. This way when we go to turn the system on, we'll see that it fires right up. And if you're wondering why the fans aren't running, well, that's because they're Molex powered and I don't have them hooked up, but the system is working. All proving we have a bad power supply. So in order to get this system back up and running, let's pull off this side panel so I can slide out this janky power supply, which apparently is a 1000-watt unit despite it weighing absolutely nothing, and its only way to run 2 CPU power headers is pigtailed. And cheaping out on power supplies like this is exactly why I have a hard time recommending pre-builds. There's a reason why we call them cyber power supply problems, because they're always cutting corners with the cheapest components. So let's get rid of this Apiva power supply and replace it with this 1000-watt unit from Corsair, who's actually a company you can trust. And you know how I mentioned the weight earlier? This thing weighs about double. But before we get this installed, let me show you my favorite pro tip about modular power supplies. It's something I call pre-wiring, where instead of plugging everything into your power supply first, I recommend plugging all your cables in on the front side first before routing the cables back and plugging them into the power supply. Because when you slide the unit in, your cables are naturally routed where they have to go, making cable management a little easier. And with that power supply now fully swapped, we can go ahead and turn the system on to see that it fires right up. And even though this system's working, we're not done just yet, because these 3 fans are getting no air, thanks to the fact that this front mesh is completely covered in dust. I mean, just take a look at that. So let's take this PC out back and blow it out. And even though this PC can now finally breathe, we're still not done, because if we do nothing else, our CPU is going to end up like our power supply, completely fried.